In yesterday's Q&A with John Jones on his Twitter, a fan asked him, in terms of strength, how do you rank yourself against Brock? John Jones responded back saying, I feel like he would have the upper hand in strength, but I would have the upper hand in muscle endurance. The UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov mentioned one fighter who can defeat top UFC heavyweight Curtis Blaydes. He said on a video on Anatomy of a Fighter, I think one guy can beat him. I think Daniel Cormier, he can beat him. Even other guys, even Stipe Miocic. I think for Stipe, he's a bad matchup because he pressures all the time and has very good wrestling. In a recent interview with ESPN, top-ranked welterweight contender Darren Till mentioned that his weight cut wasn't in any way bad. I didn't lose sight. I was just feeling dizzy. It was 5 o'clock in the morning and I was up all night and I'd been back and forth to the hospital and then in the sauna. Obviously the video makes it look a little bit worse, but it wasn't in any way bad. I can still make welterweight, that's for certain. Yeah, it's put a little dampener on my win, but it doesn't change the fact that I beat the #1 in the world. If anything, I was worse off in the fight. I was at 60% because I cut weight wrong that night. I was dehydrated, I was weak, so I wasn't my full self, but I just feel like a bit too much of a big deal has been made out of it. ESPN reporter Brett Okamoto posted this on his Twitter saying, one of the potentially overshadowed results of UFC 225 was heavyweight Curtis Blaydes knocking out Alistair Overeem. Per Dana White, UFC is interested in doing Blaydes vs Alexander Volkov on 15th of September in Moscow. Both are very highly ranked in division. Heavyweight Greg Hardy has been signed with the UFC after his 57-second knockout win in his professional debut. Following this news, UFC heavyweight Chase Sherman posted this on his Twitter saying, Dear UFC, you already know the fight to make for the fans. I'll be your Huckleberry Greg Hardy. Paige Van Zandt will have a second surgery on a broken arm after the first surgery failed. Following his win over CM Punk at UFC 225, WWE superstar Daniel Bryan posted this video on his Instagram.
Ask me if I could beat Mike Jackson in a fight. I think the answer, I could beat him on the ground for sure, I think.
You could definitely beat him. Prove it!
WWE let me fight in UFC, maybe.
Mike Jackson saw this and posted this on his Twitter saying, Hey Daniel Bryan, don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash. You don't want to get potatoed like your man's dad at UFC 225. Daniel Bryan responded back saying, Interesting. Here's both Demetrius Johnson and Tyron Woodley's dance on Fortnite. MMA reporter Damon Martin posted this on his Twitter saying, following a 1-4 run to end his UFC career, Eric Silva has signed with Legacy Fighting Championship and will make his promotional debut on July 20th in California. MMA Fighting posted this on the Twitter saying, Thiago Santos to serve as a backup plan for TUF 27 finale main event. On this day, Rich Franklin defeated Wanderlei Silva by unanimous decision at UFC 99 and Fabricio Werdum defeated Cain Velasquez by a guillotine choke at UFC 188 to become the UFC heavyweight champion of the world.